chops and lifts. Chops and lifts are mirror exercises of each other. I'm going to start off first, though, talking about the chop, and then we'll get to the lift. When you're doing the chop, you're going to use the double-ended rope. You're going to slide it towards one extreme. I put a little pad on the ground because I don't like to kneel directly on the ground. It just bothers my knees. But the setup is going to look like this. So you're going to kneel such that if the cable is on your left side for the chop, you're going to kneel on the right knee, because you will always chop down to the far side. Then you're going to position your foot, your left foot, directly in a line with your back knee so that your physical structure is as unstable as possible. This particular movement isn't really about how much weight you can move, it's how well you can stabilize your body as you move the weight. So I'm starting off from this position here. My shoulders are square with my hips, my spine is straight, my head is kind of in a double chin position, facing forward. I'm going to breathe in first, and then breathe out. I'm going to hold the rope as if it were a solid bar, and down to the side, and back. Failure on the chop and the lift isn't when you can no longer move the weight. Failure is when you start swaying your foundation as you move the weight. So don't think of it as you're trying to lift as heavy as possible. Think of it as you're trying to stabilize your body as much as possible. So when you switch sides, you switch knees, but the same rules apply. When you come down, you want the foot in front of the opposite knee, shoulders square with the hips, tall spine, and then down. Okay, those are chops. Now for the lifts are the mirror image of the chop in every way. So instead of going from up to down, we're going down to up. I'm going to slide this back down. Lifts are also a little bit harder, so you might want to drop the weight. And because the lifts are a mirror image of the chop, instead of kneeling down on the far knee for the lift, I'm kneeling down on the close knee. But then the same rules apply. You want the far leg, the heel, to be directly in front of the knee that you're kneeling on, so that your physical foundation is as narrow and unstable as possible. Holding the rope as if it were a solid bar. Tall spine, shoulders square with your hips. Inhale first, then exhale. It's up and out. Make sure the weight stack for both of these movements comes all the way down. So you go from unloaded to loaded. Again, you're holding the rope as if it were a solid bar. And failure is not necessarily when you can't move the weight. Failure is if you're struggling to keep your form. So don't think of this necessarily as a heavy weight exercise. Think of this as a control exercise. And then when you switch sides, switch knees, but the same rules apply. You always lift up to the far knee. And those are your chops and lifts.